Jason, a 38-year-old black mechanic, wipes his hands on a grease-stained rag as he leans over the open hood of a worn-out pickup truck. The scorching afternoon sun bakes the cracked pavement of his small auto shop, Jason's Auto Repairs, tucked on the outskirts of town. Meet Jason Carter, a man of skill, patience, and unshakable work ethic. For over 15 years, he's been fixing cars, solving problems, and keeping engines running, just like his father before him. He doesn't just repair vehicles. He breathes life into them. Jason steps back, nods in satisfaction as the truck's engine roars to life. The owner, an elderly man, claps him on the shoulder with gratitude. Elderly customer. You're a miracle worker, Jason. I swear, if it weren't for you, I'd be stranded every other week. Jason chuckles, waving off the compliment. Jason, just doing my job, Mr. Reynolds. You take care now. Jason watches as Mr. Reynolds drives off, then turns toward his cluttered workbench. The shop is modest but well-kept. Tool racks line the walls, a faded calendar hangs near the entrance, and the faint scent of motor oil lingers in the air. Despite his expertise, Jason struggles to keep his business afloat. The big-name auto shops in town overshadow his small garage. He often wonders if people hesitate to trust a black mechanic over the larger, corporate-run businesses. Jason's skill is undeniable, yet respect doesn't always come easy. Some customers hesitate, questioning his knowledge before he even picks up a wrench. But Jason keeps his head high, proving himself one repair at a time. A young apprentice, Jordan, 19, eager but inexperienced, approaches. Jordan, hey boss, you think we'll get more customers today? Rent's coming up, and, things have been kinda slow. Jason exhales, glancing at the near-empty parking lot. Jason, we'll be fine, Jordan. People always need their cars fixed. We just gotta be patient. Foreshadowing conflict. As Jason speaks, a loud, ear-piercing screech fills the air. A sleek black Mercedes-Benz comes to a jarring halt in front of the shop. The driver's side door flings open, and a well-dressed woman, Rebecca Sutton, mid-40s, sharp features, an aura of impatience, steps out, heels clicking against the pavement. She surveys the shop with visible skepticism before turning to Jason, her arms crossed. Rebecca, is this the only mechanic available? Jason, used to such attitudes, keeps his expression neutral. Jason, yes, ma'am. How can I help? Rebecca sighs dramatically, gesturing toward her car. Rebecca, the engine just stopped, right in the middle of the road. I have an important meeting in an hour, so if you could hurry. She cuts herself off, eyeing Jason as if questioning his capability. She doesn't say it outright, but Jason has seen that look before. Doubt, hesitation, the silent question lingering in the air. Can I trust him? Jason wipes his hands, stepping toward the car. Jason, calmly. Let me take a look. Jason leans over the open hood of the Mercedes-Benz, carefully inspecting the engine. The sun glints off the car's polished exterior, but inside, something is clearly wrong. Rebecca stands off to the side, arms crossed, tapping her foot impatiently. She checks her watch, sighing loudly. Rebecca, listen, I really don't have time for this. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Jason doesn't react. He's heard it before. Instead, he grabs a diagnostic scanner from his tool cart and connects it to the car's system. Jason, calmly. Your check engine light was on before it stopped, wasn't it? Rebecca hesitates, caught off guard by his confidence. Rebecca, well, yes, but it wasn't a big deal. The dealership told me it was probably just a sensor issue. Jason, shaking his head. It's not just a sensor. Your alternator is failing, which means your battery isn't charging properly. That's why your car suddenly died. Rebecca, frowning. An alternator? Are you sure? That doesn't sound right. She pulls out her phone and starts searching online, clearly double-checking his diagnosis. Jason doesn't flinch. Instead, he grabs a wrench and begins removing the faulty part. His hands move with practiced ease, while Rebecca watches him with visible doubt. Jason could say something. He could defend himself, but he doesn't. Years of experience have taught him that proving someone wrong is best done through actions, not arguments. Jordan, the young apprentice, watches the interaction from the side, his expression tightening. Jordan, muttering to Jason, "Man, she don't trust you at all." Jason, quietly, "She don't have to. The car will." Rebecca sighs again, growing restless. "Rebecca, how long is this going to take?" Jason, "About 45 minutes. But if you'd rather call a tow truck and wait at the dealership for a few hours, that's up to you." Rebecca glances between him and her phone, clearly debating. Finally, she shoves the phone back into her bag. "Rebecca, fine. Just hurry up." Jason works methodically, efficiently. The alternator is swapped out within minutes, and he moves to test the battery. The shop is quiet, aside from the sounds of tools clicking into place. Rebecca, standing by awkwardly, finally breaks the silence. "Rebecca, so, have you been doing this for long?" Jason doesn't look up. Jason, 15 years. Rebecca, oh. She expected a shorter answer. Something less professional. She shifts uncomfortably. Rebecca, you ever think about working for a big-name dealership? They probably pay more. Jason tightens a bolt and shrugs. Jason, maybe, but I like being my own boss. Rebecca hums but says nothing. A part of her still doesn't fully trust him, but another part is starting to realize she might have misjudged him. As Jason closes the hood with a firm click, the moment of truth approaches. Jason wipes his hands on a rag and steps back from the Mercedes-Benz. Jason, all right, you're good to go. Try starting it. Rebecca hesitates, then slides into the driver's seat. She presses the start button, and the car roars to life. Engine smooth and steady. But instead of relief, suspicion flickers in her eyes. She grips the wheel, looking at Jason through the open window. Rebecca, that's it? Just like that? Jason, nodding. Told you, it was the alternator. Your battery wasn't charging properly. Now it is. Rebecca narrows her eyes. She reaches for her phone, opening a price check website. Rebecca, and how much is this going to cost? Jason calmly pulls out an invoice pad, writes a fair price, and hands it to her. Rebecca glances at it and scoffs. Rebecca, this much? That seems high. Are you sure you didn't just mess with a few wires and call it a repair? A heavy silence falls over the shop. Jordan, standing nearby, clenches his jaw. Jason, however, remains composed. Jordan, under his breath, unbelievable. Jason, evenly. You're welcome to get a second opinion. But I guarantee you, any dealership would charge you double and take 3 times as long. Rebecca, crossing her arm. How do I know you didn't overcharge me just because I don't know cars? Jordan finally snaps. He steps forward, voice tight with frustration. Jordan, lady, he just fixed your car in under an hour. If you took this to a dealership, they'd charge you for diagnostic fees, labor fees, and a bunch of other nonsense. You'd be waiting for 3 days and still pay twice as much. But you don't trust him, do you? Rebecca stiffens. Her face flushes, but she doesn't respond. Jason, however, puts a hand on Jordan's shoulder, silently telling him to back down. Jason, calmly. Jordan, it's all right. Jordan exhales sharply and steps away, arms crossed. Rebecca, looking flustered, finally pulls out her credit card. She hands it over stiffly. Rebecca, just run it. Jason takes the card and swipes it through the reader. The moment the transaction completes, Rebecca grabs her receipt without another word. Secondary characters, a community reacts. Rebecca grips the steering wheel, staring ahead, but something in her expression shifts. Maybe it's Jordan's words sinking in. Maybe it's the realization that she misjudged someone who had only helped her. Whatever it is, it's uncomfortable. She puts the car into reverse, about to drive off, when she hears a voice behind her. Older customer, calling out, "You doubted Jason, huh?" Rebecca pauses. She sees Amar Reynolds, the elderly man from earlier, watching from a distance. A few other customers stand nearby, some shaking their heads, others exchanging knowing looks. "Mr. Reynolds, I've been coming to this shop for years. This man's never cheated a single soul. Fixed my car when I couldn't afford to pay up front. But people like you come in here and act like he's trying to scam you? Rebecca's grip on the wheel tightens. She doesn't respond, but the weight of the moment hangs heavy. Protagonist's inner struggle, frustration, and self-worth. Jason doesn't say anything. He just watches as Rebecca drives away. But inside, there's a sting. No matter how many cars he fixes, how many people he helps, some will always doubt him first. Jason, to himself, softly, ain't never enough, huh? Jordan, forget her, boss. She don't deserve your work. Jason, quietly, it ain't about her. It's about how many more like her are out there. The moment sits heavy. Jason knows he did the right thing, but that doesn't make the frustration disappear. Foreshadowing the climax, a shift is coming. As the day winds down, Jason locks up the shop. He doesn't know it yet, but tomorrow, everything will change. Cut to Rebecca, sitting in her parked car in her driveway. She looks down at the invoice, then at her phone. Something inside her turns. She opens her phone's browser and types, "fair price for alternator replacement," and pauses when she sees the results. The realization hits. She was wrong, and she had treated someone who helped her unfairly. A decision forms in her mind. Tomorrow, she's going to make it right. The next morning, Jason unlocks the shop, ready for another day. He tries to push the previous day's events from his mind, but Jordan, ever observant, isn't letting it go. Jordan, leaning against the counter. "You still thinking about that lady from yesterday?" Jason, shaking his head, lying. "Nah, man. Customers come and go." Before Jordan can respond, the sound of tires crunching on gravel catches their attention. A sleek Mercedes-Benz pulls into the lot. Jason instinctively stiffens. "Jordan, no way. You gotta be kidding me." Rebecca steps out, her posture different from yesterday, less stiff, more hesitant. She holds something in her hands, gripping it tightly. Jason watches her carefully, not sure what to expect. She approaches the shop's entrance but doesn't step inside right away. Instead, she hesitates, as if gathering her thoughts. Then, with a deep breath, she finally speaks. "Rebecca," softly, "I owe you an apology." The twist, a public atonement. Jordan blinks, taken aback. Jason, however, simply raises an eyebrow, waiting. "Rebecca, I looked it up last night. You didn't overcharge me. In fact, I got a better deal here than I would have at the dealership. And I shouldn't have questioned your work like that." Jason crosses his arms, his face unreadable. "Jason, you came all the way back just to say that?" Rebecca, nodding. "No, I also came back to fix my mistake." She turns her phone around, revealing a social media post. On the screen is a long paragraph, publicly apologizing for doubting Jason and highlighting his integrity. The post is already gaining traction, with dozens of likes and comments. "Rebecca, I have a pretty big following online. I made a mistake in how I treated you, and the least I can do is let people know the truth." Jordan leans over, peeking at the screen, his eyebrows raising in surprise. "Jordan, damn, you didn't just say sorry. You made it go viral." Emotional impact. Jason's guard comes down. Jason looks at the post, then back at Rebecca. He's quiet for a long moment, and when he finally speaks, his voice is calm but firm. "Jason, I don't do this for recognition. I just fix cars." Rebecca, nodding. "I know. But you deserve the respect you weren't given." A beat of silence. Then, Jason exhales, nodding slightly. "Jason, all right then." He extends a hand. Rebecca hesitates, then takes it. For the first time, there's genuine mutual respect between them. Jordan, grinning, nudges Jason. "Jordan, guess we're famous now, huh?" Jason just chuckles, shaking his head. A few days pass. Jason's shop is noticeably busier. More customers than usual are bringing their cars in, not just for repairs, but out of curiosity. The viral post has done its job. Jason and Jordan move through the garage, tending to vehicles while conversations buzz around them. Customer 1, laughing. "Saw you on my feed, Jason. Didn't know I was getting work done by a local celebrity." Customer 2, "Man, I saw that post too. People in the comments had nothing but respect for you. About time folks recognized your work. Jason smirks, shaking his head as he tightens a bolt. Jason, y'all still gotta pay though. The customers laugh, and for the first time in a while, Jason feels something shift. Not just in his business, but in the way people see him. The respect was always deserved, now it's acknowledged. Positive change, a new partnership. The bell above the shop's front door jingles. Rebecca steps in, this time looking more comfortable. She isn't just a customer anymore. She's a familiar face. Jordan, grinning. Well, look who's back. Rebecca, holding up her hands in surrender. Relax, I'm not here to question your work again. She places a folder on the counter. Jason wipes his hands and picks it up, flipping through the papers. Rebecca, I have some connections in the auto industry. A lot of people have been asking for recommendations lately, and I told them about you. Jason, raising an eyebrow. And Rebecca, and a few suppliers are interested in working with you directly. You'd get parts at lower costs, which means better deals for customers and bigger profits for you. Jordan's eyes widen as he looks at the documents. Jordan, wait, this is legit? Rebecca, nodding. I figured. If I could doubt you so easily, how many others have done the same? Might as well do something about it. A pause. Jason studies her, then closes the folder and nods. Jason, all right, let's talk. Final reflection, growth and understanding. As the sun sets, Jason leans against the garage door, watching customers pick up their cars. He feels a rare sense of satisfaction. Jordan joins him, tossing a rag over his shoulder. Jordan, crazy how things turned out, huh? Jason, smirking. Yeah, but people learn. Sometimes the hard way. Jordan nods. Jordan, and sometimes they make it right. Jason glances at Rebecca, now laughing with one of the customers inside. He exhales, a small smile tugging at his lips. Jason, yeah, sometimes they do. Symbolic ending, a fresh start. The shop lights flicker on as the sky darkens. The world keeps moving, but something about today feels different. The camera lingers on Jason, standing tall, in his element. A man who never needed validation, but today, he got the respect he always deserved. Did this story move you? It's a reminder that respect isn't given, it's earned. And sometimes, when people recognize their mistakes, change is possible. If you believe in supporting hardworking individuals who don't always get the credit they deserve, share this video. Let's spread the message of fairness, respect, and second chances. Comment your thoughts below. Like if you respect hard work. Subscribe for more powerful stories like this.